Thank you for tuning into our podcast. We are coming to you from Holyoke, Massachusetts. I am your host, Carrie, and I'm here with our very own historian tour guide, Robert Cumming, who not only is the founder but also the tour guide of the historical tours of Greater Holyoke. He offers both public and private tours of the local canal systems, reservoirs, cemeteries, as well as various parks and streets in Holyoke, South Hadley, Chicopee, Massachusetts. You can check out his website for more information at holyokecanaltour.org, which there he has videos, past and present photos, as well as his 2023 schedule. So today we'll be discussing the boat lock station, which is the Holyoke Canal, a 5-mile long canal system in Massachusetts. So what is the present day importance of boat lock station?
Okay, the present day. Okay. Where it is, it's on Gatehouse Road, and you can get there very easy by one of the maps I made are Google Maps. And what's its present day importance? It's one of the energy centers on the Holyoke Canal system. Everyone thinks that Holyoke Dam makes electricity, which it does, with its 2 big turbines. But other energy sources around Holyoke are made by the canal. In fact, there's 4 medium-sized locations, and then there's about 3 smaller locations. And by medium-sized, I mean that they have medium-sized turbines. Boat Lock Station has 4 medium-sized turbines inside of it. Now, how can they generate energy from a canal? Well, what happens is, since it's a leveled canal, then as one level drops into another level, or one level drops back into the Connecticut River, you could have a turbine underneath that drop of water and generate electricity from the mechanical motion of a turbine. The water will drop vertically downwards and hit cups that are prepared to catch the water and rotate the turbine system. And at the Boat Lock Station, this power system was put in, I believe, in 1905, and it's been generating electricity ever since. It has to be checked every day to make sure that it's not leaking so much lubricant and oil. It has to be checked for its wires. And you can see that the energy of Holyoke is coming from the dam's turbines, the solar panels that they have many solar panels around Holyoke, in fact 19 areas, and then they have the canal drops. And these 4 drops are catching the water. In this case, it's a drop from the first to the second level canal that's being caught by the cups of the turbine. It's a drop of 20 feet. There's another power station in the canal between the first and second level, but it's much further to the south, near Cabot Street. There is one very large one on the eastern edge of the second level canal, which is the oldest one of the canal power locations. There's a fairly small one on South Ray Street, and then there's 3 very tiny ones around the city. One in front of the computer center, 1 or 2 underneath Open Square, and then there's one very close to where the renowned Veteran Bridge is. Next question.
Yep. Now, what is the past importance of Boat Lock Station?
Okay, Boat Lock Station has been changed through the years. And it's been changed because as you need it from one thing, then you change it into that. So I explained one use, that's the modern use, but believe it or not, through the years, there were 2 other uses. The original use was to be a boat lock. That means that you put a boat in there inside of a vat of water. The gates of the vat would open up, it would drop down the water in the next lock. You'd close the doors behind you, of course, and you'd lower the water. And you can get boats from the first level canal into the second level canal. Why would you ever want to do that? Well, remember, in 1848, they started building this canal. And one thing you don't remember is that in the beginning, you needed to build walls along both sides of the canal. And those were made with rocks. And another thing, you also needed to bring wood into the canal. Why? Because as the diggers were digging the canal, you would want to shore up the sides of the canals. So rocks were brought in to make the walls of the canals and parts that were ready and the walls could be constructed in a dry area. But you also needed to have wood put onto the side of the walls, and it also has a temporary dam to hold back any water that was coming in, so the workers downstream of the canal water would be safe. So these wood panels, when they were done, they'd fence them outwards. So you need supplies to be brought in to the canal through the gate system into where the workers were. Big stones and a lot of wood. So that was Boat Lock Station. And that happened from about 1848 to about the 1880s. Now, the next use, since you have a place where water's falling over, why don't you, in the beginning, put a flume there? A flume is a place where water falls downwards and is used for a given reason. If it just falls downwards, it's a waterfall, right? But if it falls down for a given reason that you can then use it, then that's a flume. So here was the first test flume of Holyoke Canal. And it was put in place, and it was used to test the turbines that would be used in the mills. So you put in here a hole in the ground, water would fall down from the first level canal into this hole. In the hole will be the turbines that you wanted to test. You would then be able to test them. The person that was in control of this first flume at Boat Lock Station was James Emerson. So he tested a lot of properties. He was able to raise the efficiencies of turbines from about 60% to 75%. Now, after he retired, they moved the test flume much further down to where one of the energy centers ended up being on the canal, and they tested it there. And they were able to raise the efficiency upwards from the 70s to 96% at that other flume through many tests. This test flume system was the best in the world, and they made the best water-based turbines in the world. So Holyoke is known to be a paper city, fabric city, volleyball Hall of Fame, but also the most powerful canal in the world and the best test flume in the world. That's a lot.
Now, why else do you stress this stop on your canal tour?
Because it's very beautiful to look out from this position and see downwards, especially towards the east. You can see the beautiful canal water. You can see the Hadley Falls Mill and the Valley Paper Company beyond that. Until 7 years ago, when the rest of the paper mills at that curve were taken out, you could see 5 more mills along that curve. You could also see the old railroad station across the railroad bridge. And with a very, very short walk, you can see the water coming inwards on the first level canal from the gatehouse itself. So I bring people up there for all those reasons. And another reason, the first panel of solar panels were put in this area very close to where the first level canal is. Yes.
Now, tell us why this is one of the energy nodes of Holyoke.
Okay, it's an energy node of Holyoke because you have the canal water being used for power as it falls from the first to second level canal. And if you walk up to where that first level canal is falling, you can also see the enormous solar fields. Okay, and for another reason, when you look towards the east, you can see the Holyoke Dam. So you can see in this short space 3 sources of energy, all within a few hundred yards of each other. So you could also call Holyoke the Energy City because it's one of the few places in the United States which makes its own energy. Thank you.
No, thank you for telling us about that. And again, you can check out his tour on his websites, holyokecanaltours.org, where you can find his videos, photos, and 2023 schedule. Thank you for tuning in.